What do you do when the person you've built your entire world with reveals herself to be a complete stranger? The screen of her phone cast a pale, ghostly light on her face. A face I thought I knew better than my own. It was 2:17 a.m. in our Chicago brownstone, the city silent outside our window. She was asleep, a serene smile on her lips, the kind I hadn't seen directed at me in months. Her phone, however, was wide awake on the nightstand, buzzing with a name I didn't recognize. Mark. A single message glowed in the darkness. A message that shattered the foundation of our 10-year marriage. It wasn't just a message. It was a promise of a future I wasn't a part of. I felt the air leave my lungs, the silence of the room suddenly deafening. In that moment, I knew my life was a lie. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel. Tell us where you're from and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. The first few weeks were a masterclass in self-deception. I tried to rationalize it. A misunderstanding. A friend. But the evidence mounted piece by painful piece. It started with the late nights she claimed were work dinners, the receipts from restaurants on Rush Street I'd never been to with her. Then came the scent of a cologne that wasn't mine clinging to her clothes, a scent I'd later identify as something expensive, something Mark wore. She became a ghost in our home, her laughter reserved for the phone she guarded like a state secret. When I'd ask, her eyes would turn to ice. "You're being paranoid, Alex," she'd say, her voice dripping with a condescending pity that made my skin crawl. "Maybe you should see someone about this insecurity." She was gaslighting me, turning my own pain into a weapon against me, making me question my sanity. "I love you too, Mark," she whispered, a warmth in her voice I hadn't heard in years. "Soon, Alex will just be a bad memory." She laughed, a light, carefree sound that echoed the death of everything we had ever been. She hung up, turned, and saw me. The color drained from her face, but only for a second. Then the mask of cold indifference snapped back into place. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat in the dark, the city lights of Chicago blurring through my tears, and I felt something inside me shift. The loyal, loving husband died, and in his place, a cold, strategic man was born. My grief hardened into a diamond-sharp resolve. She wanted me to be a bad memory. Fine. I would make her life a living nightmare she could never forget. My revenge began not with a bang, but with a quiet click. The click of a mouse hiring the best private investigator in Chicago. For the next 3 months, I played the part of the oblivious, heartbroken husband she believed me to be. I let her think her lies were working. I listened to her stories about work trips to Miami and conferences in Los Angeles. It's all while the investigator's daily reports landed in my encrypted inbox. Photos of her and Mark holding hands on South Beach. Hotel bills from the Beverly Hilton. Credit card statements detailing lavish dinners I wasn't invited to. I saved everything. I contacted a shark of a divorce lawyer. A woman known for leaving her opponents with nothing but the clothes on their backs. We built the case, brick by damning brick. I moved our joint assets into accounts only I could control, leveraging a clause in our prenup she'd laughed at when we signed it. I let her walk deeper and deeper into the trap, her arrogance her only guide. The day of the deposition was a masterpiece of controlled chaos. Sarah walked into the lawyer's office on LaSalle Street looking smug. Untouchable, her own lawyer a slick, overconfident suit. She lied under oath, effortlessly. No, she had never been unfaithful. Yes, our marital problems were all my fault, my instability. She painted herself as a long-suffering saint. Let her finish. Then, my lawyer smiled. "We'd like to call our final witness," she said, and in walked the private investigator. He laid out the photos, the hotel receipts, the airline tickets, a 3-month timeline of her deceit, all presented with cold, factual precision. I watched Sarah's face crumble. The arrogance evaporated, replaced by a primal fear. Her lawyer's jaw went slack. The air crackled with the sound of her world being systematically dismantled. It was a public execution of her character, and I felt nothing but a cold, hollow satisfaction. The divorce was brutal. She lost everything. The house, her savings, her reputation. Her friends, seeing the evidence, abandoned her. Mark, the coward, disappeared the moment the legal trouble started. She was left utterly, completely alone. Sometimes, late at night, I see her. A fleeting glimpse across a crowded street, a shadow in a restaurant window. She looks older, worn down by the life she chose. The vibrant, arrogant woman I married is gone, replaced by a ghost haunted by her own choices. There's no triumph in it, no joy, just a quiet, chilling emptiness where a decade of love used to be. The end.